Welcome back to the channel, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is a Power Book 4 Force. I'm back. So it long awaited season is back. This is episode 1. This is a recap. So guys, before we get into this video, if you're not yet subscribed, just hit the subscription button, tap the notification bell, guys, to 500 subscription. So want to thank everyone. I've got 246 subscribers. Thank you guys for subscribing to the channel. I'm trying to hit 500, so it would be nice if you guys can just tap the notification bell and the subscription. So today we're gonna get into this. We're gonna get into this recap because we see Tommy is back to his same old. Tommy is at home. He's chilling. He starts hearing voices. Start hearing Liliana voices, and a lot of people are here asking what timeline it is. But I can confirm from what Liliana said when you could hear her voice talking to Tommy that it's been 2 days and you've not done nothing as yet, and Tommy is saying that he's promised that he was gonna make the Flynn's pay for what happened to her. So we know that the timeline is he's still in Chicago. It's only been 2 days since Liliana died, and Tommy's out for revenge and he's after Eddie Flynn, and he made that promise to Liliana. So he's not reached to New York as yet. And then right after that we can see Tommy, in true Tommy fashion, he catches his first body, which we knew was gonna happen. He went to go see one of them Flynn goons, and Tommy get his memory by giving him a scar on his face like what Liliana had, and ask him where's Walter, where he told Tommy that Walter is gonna be at Claudia's 2 o'clock the next day. So then Tommy just went there and just took him out. Now we can remember from when Tariq's house, she had boxes packing up, so everyone was wondering where Kate is going. If you can see, now we see where she is. Kate's in Chicago. She's with her 2 boys. She's with her grandson, and Tommy was saying to JP, she's really good with D-Mac, and she was yawning, and he's looking at her and saying, oh, you look a little bit stressed, and then he thought that she was still on the stuff, and he gave her a little hit, and she gave it him back and said, you know what, Tommy, I've turned over a new lease. I'm starting my new life, so I'm trying to do it without it. Then we see Stacy. She's trying to find out who Tommy is. She's asking everybody, who's this dude walking around town that nobody knows? Is he a ghost or what? So she sent her detectives out to find some way to get Tommy's fingerprint, and then we'll see further on in the episode what transpires in this. Now Tommy had to meet up with Diamond, while Diamond is gonna explain to the CBI guys what's going on, the split with Jannard and everything. So Tommy's just sitting in the car, and Diamond's explaining to them and saying, let's go get this money, and a lot of people can't. And then pipes up this kid Chewy. He's been really disrespectful, saying, who's this dude over here? You're talking about Tommy. Is he like Casper the Friendly Ghost? And so, Tommy, this is Tommy's time to step in, where he's saying to him, I'm not a ghost, but I can be friendly though. And Chewy wasn't having none of it really. He don't really want to work with the white boy. So, we're gonna have to watch that and see what happens in this episode, because Chewy is being disrespectful from the beginning, and Tommy ain't gonna have it. And right after that we can see a clip where Jannard is in the same boat, where he's telling his guys that any CBIs that's with Diamond, it's on site. When they see them, they're not over on this side. That's another thing that we have to go look on throughout this episode. Then we come over to Walter. Walter had a visit from Brendan, from the horsemen, from Dublin. So Brendan is asking Walter how we send all of these guys for war and none of them can come back. And he wrote the price on a piece of paper and gave it to Walter and let him know, what, this is the price of war. And Walter was saying to him, I thought that me and you were friends. And he said to him, you and my dad were friends. Me and you were. So Walter's got something up his sleeve. He's got a bit of problems, but Walter's got something up his sleeve. And Diamond got a little message from his old girl saying she don't want to have nothing to do with him, where Diamond didn't really pay that much mind. Then we move on over to Victor. We see him drinking, looking stressed out, sipping his sitting on his bed, and his phone starts to ring where his woman is not answering. And we know, is this the change that we're seeing in Victor? Is this where Victor is gonna be, a beast? Because a lot of people, after they've had some of the crazies hurt, that's when they change. Now Diamond, he's got a new PO. This one don't seem like it can be bought, and he's really being really hard on Diamond. So Diamond's gonna have to play it real nice and easy because he don't want to go back to prison. Tommy, he knows where Walter is gonna be, so he's headed over there, to take Walter out. He's looking, and it's daylight, broad daylight, and there's a lot of people around. But soon as Tommy ready to go take the shot, we see the bodyguard step across in front of Walter, and Tommy just had to leave that for another day. Walter, he gets upstairs talking to Vic and Claudia, and Victor is gonna go on and make up noise on his dad about what happened to Gloria. And Walter is saying to him, you're gonna realize that what I did, I did for you, and everything that I do is do for you guys. And Victor wasn't having none of it because he's still hurt because he lost his girl. And then Timmy is all over the board looking for him, and plus the feds have stepped in as well. Tommy and JP, they went to this spot. JP don't know what's up, and Tommy throws him the key and saying, I got you this spot. But JP was like, let me work it off. And Tommy's like, we're family, and your son got hit on my watch, so it's on me. So there we have Tommy and JP. But meanwhile, Tommy and JP's in the building, chatting it up and stuff like that. We can see the FBI agents slide in to get his prints off his car, so we know that they're gonna run it and then find out who he is, and we see what they're gonna do after that. Then we come on over now to the cook. She's cooking up Dahlia, and Claudia comes in and she's saying to Claudia, I was thrown in this life, I don't really want this life. And Claudia was just basically telling her, it's either you do this or you're gonna lose a life, and I need Dahlia out on the street by later on, so get back to cooking. And we know that Claudia, she don't mess about. Now with this split going down, Jannard is looking for allies, and he goes to see Chewy. And we know from the beginning, when Chewy was running his mouth with Tommy, we know that he's gonna be flipping quite easy. So Jannard went, didn't take too much convincing, and then it was like F your brother, F Tommy, and I'm rolling with you. So Chewy, he don't know what he's getting himself into. Now Jannard has to go see the plug. He goes to go see the plug, which is one of our new characters, Miguel. And he goes there short. How do you go see the plug and you're short? He don't have enough money. But just before Miguel came out to see him, he could hear some dude in there screaming. When Miguel opened the door, dude was getting tortured and stuff like that, and Miguel kind of whispered to Janard and said, if you don't have my money by Friday, same thing that's happened to old dude is you. So Janard, he's found himself into a bit of problem because he's come up short with the connect. And then, right from there, Janard went straight to go see Claudia and tried to get her in on his business, where he's saying to her, we can get into business together. He needed a bankroll and they can go into 50-50, but because Claudia knows that she's got Dahlia cooking, she declined Janard, where Janard is saying to her, you know what, you're gonna regret it. Right then after that, we roll right into where we can see Diamond and Tommy going to go meet the Connect, because from in the earlier on when time they were talking to the CBI guys, Diamond told Tommy that he's gonna go meet the Connect, wanted in on that meet. So he linked up Tommy and then they went and go see the Connect. But while they're in there, Miguel wasn't really feeling Tommy, because in them type of worlds you don't really like strangers, and then you got all of the race thing, and everybody sees a white person and they think that they're police. Tommy wasn't really welcome, so Miguel kind of tell Tommy, you know what, go in the back and wait, and we'll talk later. Meanwhile, Tommy's in the back. That's when we meet our another new character, which is Miguel's younger sister, Maria. And Maria, her and Tommy was on there, chopping it up. He introduced himself, and basically she was just saying, I know you like me, but it's not gonna happen because I don't get down with dudes like you. And Tommy was like, what dudes like who? And dudes like who hang around with my brother, and you guys don't really last long in this business. And we move right on over to Janard. Janard, he's running around doing his rounds, collecting money, and then we go into another new character, Shanti. Her and Janard, they're chatting it up, where she's saying to Janard that she want to spar with him, or that she don't really want to spar with him. She just want to give it up. And they kind of flirted a little bit, and then Janard kind of break out. We see Tommy and Diamond on the roof, and they were like, Tommy saying to Diamond, are you not sick and tired of being at the bottom or the top? And Diamond was like basically saying to him, but we've got two of the biggest cartels that we have to be at the top, in the Serbs and the Mexicans, which is Miguel. And was like, you know what, we're just gonna let them war it out with each other, and then we're just gonna slide right in. Now Tommy, meanwhile they're on the roof, Diamond got a phone call, a message to say that Dahlia was out on the street, and Tommy was a bit shocked, because he's like, he didn't know that Claudia would have got Dahlia back out so quick. And right away he came up with a bright idea, and he contacted JP, knew the recipe, so he just had JP put the recipe out on the street, and now everybody knows how to make Dahlia. So that's gonna be messing about with Claudia's business. So but Tommy, he don't really care. He's after the Flynns, and he don't care whatever he does. In the next clip, we see Tommy is at home chilling with D-Mac, having a bit of conversation, and where D-Mac wants to be back out in the streets, and Tommy is trying to protect him. I don't really want him out in the street, but D-Mac was messing about on his phone, and Tommy took the phone from D-Mac, and when we look on the screen, we could see some guy on the screen dancing with a bunch of emojis. And D-Mac was explaining to Tommy what the dancing about, and the emojis, letting him know that man's got snow and is selling it out on 84th, and trying to let Tommy know online is where everything's going on nowadays. And he kind of convinced Tommy to let him set up something like that. But Tommy is like basically saying to him, if you're going to do it, make sure you're doing it from inside the house, because Tommy don't really want D-Mac out on the street, which is a promise, that he made to his brother. Now, we can see Claudia going back to the cook and asking her, she's shouting at her and saying to her, you done it to me. You've put Dahlia out on the street. But, Claudia was pissed, so she wasn't thinking rational. And we know exactly what she's gone there for, because now she ain't got no Dahlia. And now she thinks that is the cook. Claudia caught her first body there. It's a bad situation for the cook, because she was just thrown in that situation, and now she's taken out. Tommy, he doesn't listen, because when he was in the back talking to Maria, Diamond said to him she's off limits. Now we can see Tommy on the street. We don't know if he got there on purpose or he was just driving by and saw her. She was at the bus stop waiting on the bus, and Tommy's there. He was like chatting her up and stuff like that. She can't drive, so he's offering to teach her to drive, and she's basically saying to him, you won't be alive too long to teach. Tommy was like, what you mean? And she's like, anybody that messes around with my brother don't really live too long. Plus, she don't want to have nothing to do with that world. Little did she know that Tommy is as dangerous as a brother, if not crazier. Then Tommy got a call from Diamond, a message from Diamond. So he's on the street kicking it with Diamond, and who turns up? Merkovich is back. He's saying that the block that they're on belonged to him. Janard gave him them blocks, but Tommy was like, nah, you better get out here, because this block is ours and we're gonna keep it. Diamond is telling him, well, you know what, Janard told you wrong, so you need to go see about Janard. Merkovich had to break out, because all Tommy and Diamond's guys them were like stood up, so they were like outnumbered. So Merkovich break out. When he was going, he's like, you haven't heard the last of it. And Diamond saying to Tommy, he's gonna come back. And Tommy was like, I've been waiting on dude, so he can come back as much as he wants. So then you can see Tommy, he went to go, he got a phone call, and then in the next bit we see him running into the hospital where D-Mac and JP and Kate was. With D-Mac his wound got infected, and they said that. So Tommy started making up noise, wanting to get his nephew seen. And right away Maria, she popped up just before they went and called the police. And she went and looked on D-Mac and took him to a room and sorted him out, flushed out his system and gave him antibiotics. And Tommy was he was really grateful. And we jump right in. Janard's getting beat up by Merkovich and two of his goons, because they went for the block, didn't get the block, so now they want to repayment, because Janard made a deal with them to pull the guys so that he can take out Tommy. And now Tommy is still alive and they still haven't got the block. So Janard's got problems with Miguel, and now he's got problems with Merkovich. So he's got a lot on his plate at this moment. Tommy apologized to Maria, and just as she was walking off, he saw some dude came out of a room and smacked her on her bum. They had a little chat, had a little kiss, had a little chat, and Tommy's there looking, and Tommy, he's gonna be up to something, because this kid is, whatever he wants he gets, and he does whatever he takes. Right. Meanwhile, he's in the hospital. He got a message from Diamond to come and link him at the shop. When he went to the shop, Diamond was basically turned, and now he's on the other side with Janard. And Tommy was having none of it, so he broke out, and Diamond was basically saying to him while he was walking out, don't do nothing, stupid. But we know Tommy, he's straight up crazy. Janard's at home, chilling, His doorbell rings. Man's acting all paranoid because he's got all of these people looking after him. He got all these guys that want to take him out. So he went for his gun and he creeped up to the door. When he looked, who's there? Shanti. She come to say that she heard that he's in a bit of money problem, so she brought some more money for him. But we know that that's not what she's there for. And Janad, he was like, you know what, I don't really want this money. All I want is you. And that's all Shanti wanted to hear, because, she wanted Janad. She wanted to give it up to Janad. Then we got Victor. He went home, to have it out with Claudia, because basically he's saying to her, you went behind my back, you killed the cook, and you didn't say nothing at all to me about Dahlia being ready and stuff like that. And they had a little argument, and then he just kind of broke out, but like, you know what, I can't deal with this because you're just like Walter. And Victor, he's out on his own now, so we're gonna see a crazy side of him. I think this is what we're gonna see from him. We see Polly walked in and he went to go see Walter, basically telling him that they haven't got no money to pay anybody, and Walter need to sell some asset, but Walter wasn't having none of it. Then we got the feds. They run the prince. They found out that it's Tommy, and now they want to have a special task team to go after Tommy to see if he can use Tommy to get to the rest of the guys. And this is something to watch. Chewie, Tommy creeped up on Chewie, dressed like Ghost, asking Chewie what's going on. Chewie's throwing his hands up and having a lot of talk, telling Tommy to get out of the hood, and Tommy is basically saying, you know what, that's a big mistake. There goes Tommy's second body. End of Chewie, the end of this episode. Chewie got taken all right under the stop the violence sign. So this is where the episode kind of ends. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and I'll see you again in the next one.